Right now, you are looking at my magnificent study space. I didn't just want to brag to you about that, though. I wanted to show some of the other functions of Google Slides, as well as talk about next steps for you with your own project. First tip I would recommend is the ability to duplicate your slide. If you look in the top left corner, you see a thumbnail, like a smaller image of your slide. If you right click, then you can select duplicate slide. It makes an exact copy of it. Why is that useful? Well, sometimes on a project like this, you might do a lot of experimenting and changes, and sometimes you add or take away so many things you realize, oh man, I actually hate what I did, I ruined it, and I don't know how to undo all that. If you make a copy or a duplicate of your slide before you start making all these changes, well, guess what? Even if you mess up your slide, you still have a backup saved. So I find that's pretty useful. Another thing you can do is actually change the color on certain elements in your slide. So for instance, look at this chair here. Maybe I decide, you know what? I don't like that blue. I can right click the chair, go to Format Options. Now I can go to Recolor, no recolor, and look at this, other options here. If I choose this gray, you'll see it makes the chair gray. I'm in Format Options. There's a lot of other stuff you can tinker with here as well. You can resize, you can rotate, and all these other things you can do to mess around with certain elements. Now I wanted to talk for a moment about the second part of your project. Most of your energy should be spent on building your study space, but you're also going to do something called expository writing. Expository writing is writing that explains something else. So your expository writing is going to explain why you built your study space the way you did, explaining different objects and their meaning. Now, the other skill you're developing is the ability to embed links within your Google slide. So for instance, if I wanted, I could make it so this radio right over here, this is like an old school radio, I could make that a link. So if someone were to click that radio, it would take them to YouTube and a music video of my favorite artist. Or maybe if they click this computer, it takes them right to my Google Classroom. You're going to practice that skill by linking an object in your room to your own expository writing. Here's how you do it. You're in your Google slide, go to File, New, Document. File, New, Document. Now you're going to rename it. And these steps that I'm going over, they're all laid out in your packet. You can rewatch this video or look in your packet. You're going to name it with this format. Your last name, underscore, your first name. Oh, I misspelled my first name. That's not good. And then study space pair. Pair is short for paragraph. So now it's renamed it with that format. That's what you should use. Now, this is the URL at the top of the page. Click into the URL. That highlights and selects it. Now I'm going to copy it by doing Control C. I've copied this link. Go back to your Google slide. Click an object that you want linked to your expository writing. I'm going to click that cat. It's selected. Now I go to Insert, Link. Click Link. Now paste that link. You can paste it by clicking Control V. Now I hit Apply. Now if someone were to click that cat, guess what? It would take them right to this document. And this document, again, is where you're going to do your own expository writing. Last thing I'm going to say, on the bottom of your slide, it says click to add speaker notes. Please put a little message there, just a short message saying where I should click to find your document. So maybe write me a message saying, please click the cat to see my expository writing. And that's it. So you just learned a couple other functions and you learned about linking to your expository writing. Good luck.